Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mr. Kev. This is my Cardistry channel. I have another channel where I put out music. I'm a musician first. Cardistry enthusiast second. So please go check out that channel. I'm trying to reach 100,000 goal by the end of the year 2025. So please go support me there as well. I got into this niche. Don't ask me how. I keep having different reasons for why I got into cardistry. Some of it is linked to me being fascinated as a youngster about magic, especially card magic, and me also being involved with playing cards when I was a kid, playing cards with my cousins, my friends, with my grandpa. I really enjoy that time. I have 69 subscribers right now, and I'm very happy that some of you guys interact with me, dude. It means a lot to me. For those 2-3 people who ask me about these things, I thought I'll put out this video for you guys. This is my 500th post. If you're watching this on Instagram, I'm very excited to explain my tips and tricks and hacks for you guys. For those people who asked me about tutorials, I'm not the right person to show you guys tutorials because I myself am not very skilled. I might have certain techniques not up to the mark. So if I show you the move as well, you might be learning it the wrong way. I would recommend that you learn from those established cardistry experts. There are a few places that I would recommend. Square Up Cards is a good place to start. There is a bunch of other magicians. Of course, the standard ones. Alex Pandria is a great place. Daniel Madison for magic tricks and whatnot. There are quite a few, dude. There's Spidey for your mentalism and some of these minor tricks here and there. You will find your way around it. There are a lot of these. I also love Ekaterina. Her tutorials are the absolute best. This is some of the things that I learned, and I owe it to the community, which is a niche community. Probably about 100,000 people who are actually into cardistry around the world. I believe. I don't know the specifics of the numbers. So I owe it to all of you guys. I don't own any of the things that I'm showing you guys today. Completely owe it to the community who were so kind to share it to all of us for free. They are not necessarily earning a penny out of it, but they were kind enough to share it. And I thank you guys for doing so, because I have found so much peace and calm in this form of art. It's given me less anxiety. It's helped with my onset of carpal tunnel syndrome. Usually tend to wear a brace. Now I don't, because cardistry ensures that I flex my muscles enough for that pain not to come back. I am very patient with myself. It may not be with other people, but I am very patient with myself, and I think that is very important when you're learning a new skill. It's very easy to get discouraged when you're not getting something. And in the past 500 days, there are a lot of moments where I felt fatigued because I didn't know what to post on that day, because I made myself very clear about putting one post every single day. That's the only fatigue I've had, which is in terms of content. What do I post today? But not one day have I picked up the cards and felt, not today. I spend 5 hours a day minimum sitting down with cards. It is not consciously sitting with the cards. It's probably while I'm having a conversation with a friend of mine, I'd be with my cards just doing this. It's just a move, or I would just be doing this, or I'll be fiddling around with the cards, just feeling it here and there. Sounds very wrong, but yes. You just keep doing it while you're having a conversation. This helps you build confidence with the cards. Yes, you will drop cards. That's a part of, as I spoke about it. You will drop cards, and that is completely fine. Yes, let's jump into some of the hacks that I want to tell you guys about. One of the communities that I follow is Joker and the Thief. They are a card maker, manufacturer. As an Indian, you have these couple of sites where you can get these cards. They have a community where they asked cardistry experts to advise young cardistry beginners or enthusiasts who are getting into this art form, and we got some really profound answers, and I'm going to share some of it with you. When you're practicing cardistry, practice it with 3 different types of decks. one being completely worn out, one being semi worn out, and one fresh deck. It did not make sense to me earlier, but as I started practicing, it started making sense, because something like a fresh deck can help fan better. Something like a worn out deck, which gives you, I don't know, whatever this is. The cards also feel very different. I can feel like the card is very thin compared to this. Over a period of time, the card stocks tend to get very flimsy compared to a fresh deck. If you can see the wear and tear in this is a fresh one, this is 1 month old, and this is like 3 or 4 months old. So you can see the color difference in itself. Practice with different decks. Older decks can help you make packets easy. So you can make a move like this, which is very simple. And practicing with old decks also helps build confidence. Even if you drop cards, you're not worried too much. While a fresh deck, when it drops, you kind of feel, oh my god, not this time, not today, dude, what the hell. You don't have to worry about that with an old deck. You're free to drop it anytime you feel like. I keep practicing every waking minute of the day when my hands are free. That's the way I get to learn. You may not be able to have that freedom at the place that you work or the study. So find your time and try to work with it. The more you get acquainted with the cards, the more a move happens. This is the biggest hack I can give you. A move that you do in Cardistry, the mechanics of that move can be the same, but way that move is done can be different. I have fairly smaller hands in comparison to some of these Cardistry experts who teach Cardistry moves. Many of them have long fingers, and you think they get to do certain moves so simple, so easily, while I struggle with it. I've seen all of them say the size of your hands does not matter. You just need to find the knack in which you pull off that move. So what I just did right now is this move called Trigger. Trigger is a move that made me drop cards more than I can even imagine. I still drop cards when I do the Trigger. And the move looks nothing like what I just showed you when it's done by somebody else abroad. And that's okay. You're not trying to compete with them. You're trying to build your own style. You can pivot from it. Some of the grips that they say don't necessarily account for your size of hands. Certain moves like this, right? I realized is a hack for me. I had to find my own hack around doing that move, because I had to watch like 2-3 tutorials to try and understand the mechanics around it. There are several such Cardistry moves where I don't necessarily use the finger that they tell me to. There is this that is a common opener. This is called the Z grip. This is that extended Z grip or something like that. The extended Z grip can be like this. A lot of people tend to hold it like this, but I tend to hold it like this, and some of them tend to hold it with their pinky. It's purely a choice. You can do it anywhere you want, but the mechanics of that move is going to remain the same. Let's just do this move. Okay, this move, as you can see, is the extended Z grip. Some of them hold it this way and do this move, and that is completely fine. Each one to their own. So I hope I was clear with that. You find your own grip. You don't rely on other people. You find the mechanics of the move, the flow of the move, and try to find your own way around it. Somebody had asked me about the bicycle seeking deck. Seeking deck is an absolute beauty to look at, dude. I would stare at it all day long because of how beautiful the deck of cards look. I remember mentioning it down on the comments that I purchased an extra deck because that's how much I loved this seeking look. The teal color, just teal and gold, dude. It's just beautiful. It's such a well done cards, dude. Bicycle just makes bomb. The problem with something like this is that it cannot do well for magic. Now, if you see something like this, which is a standard bicycle deck, and this, you will notice the bicycle deck has an extended border. Now you might ask, why is that a thing? Something as simple as this. You can see that you can see the edges. So if I were to slightly move the card, you can see, okay, the edge is here. So if I were to lift up the card, you can see the edges. You will understand why when you check out something called the lift. There's a very specific move in magic called the lift. You'll figure out what it is. And when you're doing the lift, it is going to be a point of concern. Because if the cards get flashed, you're screwed. Because it's very easy for the cards to move around and flash. But at the same time, if I were to use something like this, you can see this. Even if it's moving slightly around, you can still get away with it. You can see, I can show them the cards like this. But over here, I can't show them the cards like this because this part gets exposed. There are a lot of like magic moves that you will have to do where you have the cards the other way around. That's all I'm going to say. So it's set up for failure many a times. So I highly recommend using a standard deck. Also because it's cheaper. I recommend using the standard deck when you're starting to practice cardistry and magic. A little bit about the hands. There are hacks that you need to pick up on your own. My hack is not your hack. What I mean by that, I can do something called the Tenkai palm. I can take the card and drop it somewhere here, and I could do the Tenkai palm and you wouldn't even notice it. And I started getting this right because I found my hack around it. Everyone has a hack. You just need to find yours. And even palming a card is one such hack. Initially, I never could palm cards. I still won't show you how I palm cards because I feel very exposed. It's one of the most shittiest palming methods. I have small hands and you can see through the palming that I do. So I always use misdirection when I'm palming a card. It usually works. And I don't make it obvious. There are a lot of people when they are showing their tutorials, you barely notice when they do the card palm. It's crazy how they tend to do the card palming is so cool, so smooth, it's barely noticeable, barely visible. If you're asking me if I've done that, yes, to save myself from certain situations, I've done it. I would show them a move where I need the card on the top, let's say the 7 of hearts on the top, and I would end up palming the cards while I'm talking to that person without them noticing it. There are different ways you can palm the card, but I use one of these ways which are very simple. So it's something like this. And I just get away with it, dude. You just need to have the skill of the gab. I know I suck at it because I keep constantly repeating some of the same things that I said earlier. The second time I say that, I consciously put an effort to slow things down so that I know that they understand every single word that I am stressing on. This helps kind of build a little bit of tension. It really helps because the second time when you're saying it, people are going to think, oh, whatever he's saying there is very important. That's why he's slowing it down for me the second time around. When that process is happening in their head, that's when you do the move. That's when you do the sleight of hand. It works really well. I hope as an Indian, I was able to provide some crucial information. And yes, I forgot to mention this. Cards wear off very fast during humid conditions. Humid climates are something that people don't account for. A lot of these cardistry channels that talk about cardistry and how to take care of your cards, they don't account for humid conditions. Indian subcontinent is predominantly humid in multiple different ways compared to foreign lands. So ensure that you use cards and practice cardistry in dry climates. I live in Bangalore, so it's fairly dry in comparison to the other states that other places that I've lived in. I was in Chennai before this, and I've traveled to Chennai and Kochi with cards, and I've been practicing there as well. What happens there is that the cards wear off fast because your fingers start sweating quicker, your hands get grimier faster, sooner. In dry climates, I suggest moisturizing your hand. In humid conditions, wash your hands, dry your hands, and then jump onto cards. As for cards, I use paper cards, specifically bicycle playing cards, because they are the cheapest ones with the air pockets, perforations of whatever you want, indentations that you can see closely if you actually zoom in onto this card. If there are no air pockets, what happens is the cards stick to each other very faster. So if you're using one of those bridge decks, this is a poker deck. I practice with a poker deck over bridge decks. Bridge decks are smaller in size, thinner in size actually. There is a video where I've showcased a bridge deck in this channel. You can actually see that. I wouldn't recommend a bridge deck, especially because you don't have the air pocket bridge decks all that much. Your hands will thank you later because the poker decks are more available, more prominent, more sought after. That doesn't mean you won't be able to do tricks with a bridge deck. If a bridge deck is handed over to me, it takes me a few seconds to realize, oh, it's smaller, and then you tend to do your tricks just as well as you would do on a poker size deck. It's completely fine. You'll figure it out. Stick to bicycle for now because they are the ones that offer best value for money. It is still expensive, but if you are somebody who is starting off, you are a student, you do not have money, you can start with a bridge deck or a plastic card deck. I started with a plastic deck. It's completely fine. I mean, you will eventually earn and you will eventually start collecting cards or buying cards with your own money. Until then, practice with whichever card is available. Cardistry is something that you can learn even if you have a 90 rupees ka, say like playing card packet from your local store. It can even be plastic and you can learn a lot of tricks with it. I still recommend paper deck, paper bicycle deck specifically because, like I said, value for money and the best possible outcomes. Living in Bangalore, I run through 2 bicycle playing cards every month. I buy the twin deck, which comes to somewhere around 500 to 550 bucks. So essentially the cost of each deck will be somewhere around 275, 300. There are a few websites that you can purchase the cards from. I will give you a link to it, a bunch of the stores that you can actually go and check out. I will also give you my Amazon affiliated links if you want to buy stuff from Amazon, which seems to have the best rates most of the dates. You can go find that down in the comments, down on my description. That's about it. I'll try and do a tutorial on how to do the card spring for my friend who keeps commenting on the videos. Thank you so much. Love that you guys are interacting and let me know how I can be of help for you guys. Whenever I have the time, I will try my best to maintain this channel. Like I said, my concentration is going to be on music side of things. I have been ignoring that channel for a while and my work on that side of things have become a little more hectic. I will still try and put as much as possible for you guys, do my side of my bit of things for you guys, but tutorials, you let me know what tutorials you guys want. I'll help you guys with it. If it's a move that I can do, I will help you guys with it. I don't think I can teach you guys any of the moves that I'm doing because I still haven't mastered them. I still think even the Sleight cut feels very lame to me because I've seen Sleight cut done better. And that's the tutorial that I've put out on my channel. And that's the last one. I will not teach. I saw those tutorials and I was like, dude, I don't think I should be teaching. Thank you for sticking around if you watched this entire video. It means a lot. Thank you. Happy New Year.